Welcome back to First Issues. Previously, we learned of the misconceptions around 100% fruit juices and other consumables, especially when one is trying to be healthier. So now, what other alternatives can be considered when one is trying to better their quality of life? Let us find out more from dietitian Dr. Malebogo Eluya. Doctor, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time as ever. It's a pleasure having you on our platform. Today we're talking about labeling on food items, saying, your bottle of almond milk, which is a milk alternative, your orange juice box, maybe even an aloe vera juice box, purporting to have 100% juice or 100% almond milk or 100% aloe vera juice, right? So what does it mean when a carton of a food item or packaging says 100% of that in that packaging?
That's a very difficult question because most of the food that we have in Botswana are imported from outside. What I mean is every country has its own standards regarding labeling. Unfortunately, it's not always uniform. You may find that in the UK, they have different standards on expectations of companies to say if something is 100% juice, what does it mean? Similar to any other country. Mind you, we import most of our foodstuffs from South Africa. So they may have their own standards to say if something is labeled as 100% juice, what does it mean? But generally, with fruit juices, anything that is extracted from fruit can be labeled as 100% juice. And I think sometimes we get it confused to think that it's similar to the fruit juice that you can squeeze at home, using either a squeezer or whatever. But like I said, anything that is extracted from fruits can be labeled as 100% juice. And it doesn't mean that it's all natural in the sense that even, I would say it in quotes, chemicals that are extracted from fruit can be termed as 100% fruit juice. If you take citric acid, for example, it's extracted from fruit. But it doesn't mean that it is a juice.
So now, what other alternatives can be considered when one is trying to better their quality of life? For the layperson who does not understand all of the legalities and processes that you mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, wouldn't that not seem like false marketing? I mean, I'm buying this thing under the guise that I'm buying 100% orange juice. That means that it's just juice in here. So what is my responsibility in knowing what it is that I'm buying?
I don't think it's false marketing. It's all about whether you as the consumer, you are educating yourself enough to know what it actually means. Are we really reading the labels or we just see the 100%? That's it. And I think that's where most people get it wrong. You just see 100%, automatically assumption is that 100% means perfect, it means good. But then just like you can get 100% meat, does not mean that you can have 2 steaks, for example. Portion control is also very important because just because something is good does not mean you should overeat it or overdrink it.
So then now that we've learned that, the things that we buy and consume in the effort to be healthier, what is our recourse? What other alternatives are there?
Well, it depends on what your expectations are. What is it that you want to achieve? Sometimes, as the general public, we try to be so healthy that we choose the wrong things, unfortunately. You'll be saying, okay, instead of water, 100% juice is better. But simplicity is best. Why not just drink water? What are you trying to achieve by having that 100% juice, and how much of it are you going to drink? Because even just a quarter of a glass, it's enough to get the health benefit compared to just finishing the whole box.
At the beginning, I spoke about other items that come in packaging purporting 100% of the contents inside, right? So I spoke about almond milk, soy milk, which are milk alternatives for people who are lactose intolerant. And then there are people who also want to be healthier, trying to detox their systems. So they drink more aloe vera juice. There's also more moringa juice and the likes. What about them?
You've indicated two different things, intolerance or allergies. Definitely that's a medical problem or a medical condition, but it has to be diagnosed by a health professional to say you have lactose intolerant, or you could be having certain symptoms, not necessarily that you are not tolerating milk. So number one, you need to get clearance from a health practitioner to say you are lactose intolerant. Once that's done, then you can find alternatives, as you've indicated, like lactose-free milk. That's an alternative for health-related condition. But if you are trying to be healthy, you have to be very cautious, because as a layperson, you may not necessarily know that that moringa drink or aloe vera drink is going against the other conditions that you are having.
This program was brought to you in association with First National Bank of Botswana.